Hello, everyone. Welcome back to this session with Parthasarathy. And it's the second session. In the last one, we touched upon Prashna and Unita omens. So in this session, Parthasarathy will introduce Vedic Numerology. We'll go further into it. We already talked about it in the first session, and how it is all connected to sounds and the chakras. So a very interesting session indeed. And I'm handing over. Partha, hello, welcome back. Nice to have you with us today again.
Hi Bettina, how are you doing today?
Very well. How about you?
Yes, I'm doing good.
All right.
So today's session is something very deep, and it is even though it is a basic session, it is not like a very advanced session. Yet both basic students as well as advanced students will benefit from this session.
Wonderful. Okay.
So let me share my screen. I will invoke all the gurus: Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Deva Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guru Namah. Just like in my last session, gurus shall protect our knowledge, and they will not allow the knowledge to fall in the wrong hands.
Yeah.
Yes. So, what Lord Krishna says about sounds, Akshara. As I was saying in the last session, that Akshara is the basis of this universe. Akshara is nothing but sound. It is what actually, permeates the entire universe. As we all know that in India we say Om, and what you say is Amen. All are one and the same thing. And this sound is the basis, or the origin sound, or the main sound. And that sound actually goes through a passage. It becomes solidified, and it comes into the existence. It comes into the matter and becomes solidified. And what Krishna says is that Brahman, or Akshara, is the imperishable, the supreme dwelling in each body. Brahman is called the individual soul. So the offering of the oblation which brings into existence all beings and supports them is called action. Action meaning karma. So what Krishna says is that it is the sound which is the basis of this entire universe, and it is sound which condenses itself into matter through a stage gate process. So what actually happens is, it is the individual soul. Once it leaves the body, it becomes the spirit, and this spirit, depending upon its karmas, it either lodges itself into this cross plane or the slightly higher planes, or it goes back to the source. Now, only those souls can go back to the source whose vibration is equal to that of Om. Whose vibration is not equal to that of Om, they continue to be, recycled into this existence. Okay, so that is what it means. And also everything that we see, or what we hear and what we feel, is nothing but a sound. Either sound here, what I mean by sound is a vibration which actually is either in that etheric space or the akashic space, as an akashic record, as an imprint of your memory, as your karma, or it is condensed into the gross body, which is called as human body, or which is called as a bird, or which is called as an animal, or it's called as a rock. Okay, so how this whole process happens is that, as I said, the energy, whatever it is, whatever soul it is, it has got a certain vibration, it has got a certain frequency. That is why it is called a signature frequency. Okay, so this signature frequency, it descends upon this plane of existence, and what it does is it enters the womb of mother, and then it slowly interacts with the matter, and then it forms slowly it forms that fetus, and it slowly forms the baby, and it comes into this world. But Not only that, even the ideas that we get, the concepts that we get, and the sounds we hear, because in the last session I talked about nimitta, I was saying the same thing, that I was hearing some sounds and I was able to decode. This is because every sound has got an associated number, a numeral. Also, it has got an associated matter component. So, as I said, all the vowel sounds are nothing but your consciousness sounds, the sun sounds, that we will see how it is, and all the other sounds, they are related to the matter sounds. Okay, so say, having said this, let me move forward. Okay, so this is a very generic concept which most of the students are aware of. Yet, for the sake of repetition, I can say that Om, it descends upon your Sahasrara chakra. Okay, and then it actually comes down and it forms into lower vibrations. Okay, they form sounds. Actually, what happens is Om distributes itself into petals, sound petals, and then slowly it becomes, from the crown chakra it comes down, it becomes the etheric, then it becomes the air, from air it becomes fire, from fire it condenses to water, and from water it condenses into earth. Okay, and that is why each of these petals, they have certain vibrations, certain energies, and they are all connected to individual planets. Planets are nothing but, again, they're related to the individual tattvas or elements. Okay, so how is that? Of course, I have shown the table last time, so I will be showing the same table again. Okay, before that, as I said, the sun rules all the vowel sounds. So I will go into this consciousness sounds again, but let me show that table again. So as I said the last time, that the Ka group, okay, the Ka group is all related to the Mars element. But instead of saying Mars, we can also say that it is actually related to the Agni element or the fire element. So that is why these sounds, which you see in the first, second, third, fourth, fifth column, these are related to the fire element. Ka, kha, ga, gha, yeah. And then these sounds, cha, cha, ja, ja, na, these sounds are related to Venus, or we can say water element, okay, in our body. Then the ta group, which is overlorded by Mercury. So these sounds are ta, tha, da, dha, na. These are related to Mercury. Okay, and then you have the Jupiter sounds, the Saturn sounds. So this is what I had touched upon last time, but I will go a little deeper this time, and I will try to connect the dots. Okay.
Wonderful.
Yes. So when the consciousness sound Om descends into the Ajna chakra, or what is called as the third eye chakra, what actually happens is it divides itself into duality. Before it comes into the matter, like, many people think that, okay, I'm a male or a female and all that. But basically every human soul has got both the male component as well as the female component. Of course, the soul itself is neutral. It doesn't have any gender or sex as such. But once it comes into this world of duality, once it descends into the world of duality, it actually creates this vibration which is divided into two parts. And these two are nothing but the sounds hum and ksham. Okay. And then what happens is, this sound hum, it descends into the throat chakra, or the Vishuddhi chakra. Okay, Vishuddhi chakra is located in this part, which is your throat area. Okay, and here is where what actually happens is, this sound, which is only at a very subtle level, only at the sukshma level, which is not actually seen or perceived, this becomes perceivable, or this suddenly it becomes real, it manifests itself. And that is why the sounds which are associated with the sun, all the vowel sounds, they start coming out here. So that is why when a baby is born from mother's womb, it cannot, talk matter sounds. It cannot say kaka and all that. It will initially say ah, oh, it will say only that. And that is why all the babies will cry like that. Oh, like that. Ow, ow, they will cry like that. Because they are only making the consciousness sounds. Okay, so it only with the help of mother that the baby is taught language, the baby is is given. That is why these are all, as we descend down, they're all the matter sounds or mother sounds. Matter is nothing but mother. So here mother means not only the immediate mother who has given birth to the baby, but also this environment. Environment is also mother. The earth is also mother.
Yes.
Okay, so this mother actually teaches the baby how to pronounce the other words. Okay, so that is why around the hum you have all these sounds, e, u. So all these vowel sounds, they're actually produced here. Okay, as the matter descends, this is produced. Okay, coming down further, now you have the Mars sounds and the other sounds which are produced. So as you can see, you have ka, kha, ga, gha, nya. So this comes into your heart chakra. So as the sounds, it comes down, what actually happens is, it starts interacting with the matter, it starts interacting with this energy, and it starts forming the vibrations, which are actually now, you can actually feel them. Now you can feel them. That is why the heart chakra is related to feeling. See, suppose somebody is talking from his mouth, somebody is saying, hey there, how are you doing? You can feel that. Well, he's not talking with any emotion. He's not talking with any, he's not speaking with any love or affection or all that. How do you make that? You are able to make it out only because he's talking from the throat. That is why in Indian schools, where we children are taught Vedas, and their children are taught Rig Veda and the system of sounds, they are always asked to create these sounds from the navel, not from top, not from the throat. So children are advised, to stand in deep water till the neck. They are actually advised that.
Interesting.
Yeah, actually, they are. Yeah, especially when you're learning music, because as I said, I come from the musical family last time. So when you're learning music, children are actually advised to stand neck deep in water. Okay, there is a famous movie called Shankara which came around 30-40 years back, which actually showed the small girl who is daughter of this great teacher, a great musician. She is actually being taught in that way, that where she is standing in neck deep water. Okay, and in some schools, of course, people are also advised to put small pebbles in their mouth and all. I think this was done by Demosthenes or somebody in ancient Greece, so to improve his sound and all that. To improve that, what he did was he put some rocks inside, not rocks, sorry, but small pebbles inside his. Okay, so these are ancient techniques to actually ensure that the sound actually comes only through this, in this channel, not through sides. So this, when somebody talks like, hey, how are you doing, man? So what actually happens is the sound is not coming in a straight way. Whereas when you are actually trained to talk in a central portion, which is a Sushumna Nadi, or which is the actual way of talking, what actually happens is the other person also feels that vibration. Okay, and as I said, the sound has to come from the navel. So that is why when you say Om, when you chant Om, for those of you who are like interested in the mantras and all that, so you should never say Om. You should say Om. Right. That actually should come from your navel chakra. Okay, these sounds, as I said, in the heart chakra, coming back, we have Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, which are the Mars sounds here. And then you have this, and here we have cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, and then the ta, ta. So there are two more petals which are related to the Mercury sounds. Now, but an important thing which we need to understand is, even though I am, for the understanding sake, I am saying that there is consciousness sounds which are vowels, and there is matter sounds or mother sounds or matru sounds as the consonants. In actual school, it is taught that these are actually nothing but one again. It is only for understanding purpose that we are dividing the universe and this world into sun and moon. But actually, sun and moon are one and the same thing. It's just that they are the two parts of the same coin. Okay, that is why Om descends into And then it actually becomes, it is like becoming. It is not like, okay, there is an external thing. It is not like, okay, there is a om or there are sounds. These are this some like these vowel sounds which are coming from somewhere else. Okay, like they are coming from the sun, and they are actually interacting with matter. So the word interaction which I have used is actually incorrect word. What I should say is, these sounds, these aksharas, om and all the vowels, they actually become these sounds. They actually become these sounds, and it is not perceivable with our with our limited senses. So it's only when you do deep meditation you can understand how actually it becomes those sounds. So in essential, I can say one thing, that all the sounds are one sound which actually becomes these sounds. It is not that it interacts and then it is like 1 + 1 = 2. It's not like that. The 1 actually becomes 2, the 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. It's like that. So it's a process of division, which is not visible to the naked eye. So this is how these sounds are produced. So as you go down, so this is where your emotions and feelings, and that is why it is called heart chakra, and heart is where your moon resides, your emotions reside, your feelings reside. Okay, coming down, what actually happens is, now these sounds, they descend further and they become the fire element, and in the fire element all these sounds are produced. So continuing from the previous petals, so it ended here, ta, tha, ta, third, or it's also a tum and thum. And this ta, tha, after ta, tha, you have da, da, na, and then ta, tha, da, dha, na, and pa, fa. Okay, so this is how actually it keeps on descending, and it continues to create these sounds. So that is why, when you are creating these sounds like failure, okay, or like pass or failure, basically what you're doing is you are actually creating a sound from your fire element, which is that is why if somebody says you have passed, or if somebody says you have failed, what you are actually doing is you are inserting a vibration of fire inside that mind. And that is why that person may feel that, oh, what has happened, whether I have made some mistake, what is happening with me, where is my life going. So when you say failure, so you have to be very careful with these vibrations. And descending down further, as I said, after pa, fa, then you have ba, bha, ma, and then ya, ra, la, and finally sha, sha, sa, ha. So here what is happening is, when you from Manipura you come to Swadhisthana chakra, and from Swadhisthana chakra you come to Muladhara. What is happening is, the sounds finally come down and they actually coil, in this rotations, they become a coil, and this coil is nothing but your kundalini energy, which is dormant, which is sleeping. Okay, so that is why 99%, or I can say, okay, 98% of the people in this world, they are asleep. They are asleep. They are asleep because the kundalini is asleep. Okay. There is a purpose in why why we are not awake, or why people are not awake. The reason is, if you are too awake, what will happen is you will not see the value of life, or maybe you will want to go back or something like that. So it is important to be connected to the earth. So that is why you can see that generally the plug points and all, they have this the left polarity, right polarity. You have this left yin and yang, but there is, many people forget that there is something called as neutral also. So this neutral is nothing but this connection to earth. Okay, that is why it is called earthing. Okay, so you have the male, you have the female component, but there is also something called as neutral principle, or the earthing principle, which actually connects your your DNA and your body and your vibration actually to earth. And unless you are grounded, that is why it is called grounding. Okay, the English word grounding, okay, have you done the wiring? Is the wire grounded so that there is no electrical shock? So they say that because unless you have grounding, there is always a chance of some lightning striking the building and the building collapsing or something like that. Okay, grounding is very important. So this Muladhara chakra is where the finally the sounds actually come and they sit. Okay, and the sound actually, it becomes coiled and it sleeps. So with the help of a guru or a teacher, or through Vedic astrology and through following a good vegan diet or a good vegetarian diet, you can actually raise these energies again, and you can feel the vibrations. You can actually understand how these vibrations happen, and people can actually become psychic and all that. But before they do that, they have to be connected to earth. So Muladhara, when you are connected to earth, one of the secrets which I can say is that you have to respect earth as your mother. Okay, that is why it's called Muladhara, or the root of everything. So this sound which comes down here, the sound lum, if you can see, I can give you immediately. I can give you two examples. There is this sound called love, and there is this sound called like. Okay, when you say love, what is actually happening is, let us go back to the table and I will show you the difference.
Mm-hmm.
So when you are saying love, you are actually having this vibration which is here. Okay, 3, and va is actually immediately here, but you are not saying lava, you are actually only saying love. So that is why you cannot consider this. So in Vedic numerology, you have to consider two sounds together only when the second sound is also having a consciousness sound. Here in the word love, only la is actually having consciousness, but va is asleep. If you say lava, like Lava Kusha, who are the children of Lord Ram, okay, then only you can have 34, which is because it is in the third column and the fourth column. But here you have only 3. Okay, so 3, as you know, is related to the sign Gemini, and in Gemini you can see that the symbol of Gemini is like there are 2 people, man and woman. Okay, male female principle. So love can actually happen only when there are 2 people. Of course you can love yourself, that's that many people do, narcissistic people do that, but basically you need 2 people for love to produce. Okay, like Krishna, Radha, Shiva, Shakti, the man, woman. So that is why the love is clear. But when you say like, I like you, what is happening? Let us see. When you say like, the sound is 3, la is 3, and then ka. If you see ka is here, 1. Okay, so let us do this maths here. Okay, last time I did a small mistake in Guru. What I did was in Guru, yes, I recall, actually I connected it to Capricorn and Aquarius, but actually it is Scorpio and Aquarius. So real Gurus are like Ketu and Shani and Rahu, of course. Okay, so coming back, like, the word like, if you see, it is 3 and 1. So let us do simple maths here, and let's not do mistake here again. So 31. So when I divide 31 divided by 12, okay, so that is a Katapayadi. What is happening is 12 2s are 24, the remainder is 7. Okay, so what is 7? 7, the number 7 actually connects to Libra or Tula Rashi. Okay, so when you are saying I like somebody, it's basically at a surface level, or what is called as the sexual level, or only at the surface level. It is not a heart-to-heart connection. Okay, so that is why you have to be careful as to the words that you are using. If you like somebody or you love somebody, okay, and that is why Facebook recently has introduced all these other emoticons. Earlier they had only like or dislike. Right. Now they have understood that only through using these symbols it is not sufficient to to connect people. So to connect people, basically you need more than like, and which is love. So that is why they have introduced the other emoticons. Right. Okay. Okay. So now let us also take some other example. Now, before that, I can just say a few things. So when we are talking about sounds and vibrations and descending into matter, we have to understand few things which I have not put it on slides. So that's why I request my viewers to just note it down. I will be going in a flow, so that is why you have to pay careful attention. One thing is, all these sounds, when they descend into matter, they are actually supposed to enter into your what is called as the cellular memory. Okay, they are actually supposed to come and enter into cellular memory, and they are supposed to percolate. The word I used the word called percolate. it is supposed to percolate and it's supposed to enter into your cellular memory so that you are able to recall, many things like maybe some past life talents and why you are born, what is the purpose and all that. But because of so many changes which are happening in the environment, as you know, industrial revolution and the gases that are being released, and also these control structures that we have in the world, and also this practices like vaccination, unnecessary overdue vaccination. 1 or 2 vaccinations is fine, but too many vaccines and all, what actually happens is your blood gets impurified. I mean, it actually gets diluted, and as soon as a child is born, the placenta is cut, and what is that called? The umbilical cord is cut. Sorry, and the child is kept away from mother. But in ancient schools, what used to happen was, if the child is born through mother's womb, it was connected to mother for 4 to 5 hours. The baby was actually kept close to the mother,
Yes.
so that all these vibrations, the sounds which are intact with the baby, which has come from another world, it doesn't feel disconnected. Okay, and the most important chakra in the human body, all the chakras are important, but the most important chakra, according to me, as per my experience, is the navel chakra, or it's called as the solar plexus chakra, because heart is there for emotions and feelings and all that, but it is the lower emotions, and it is all this vibrations of matter and all are actually located in the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra, interestingly, it is around the navel area, just behind the navel area. It is connected to 72 veins or 72 nerves, and some of these veins actually come and connect to eyes. That is the reason why the solar plexus chakra and the third eye chakra, they're actually connected. Okay, so they are connected, and this is the concept of Rashi Drishti, which actually is not told either because the scholars are not aware, or because they are they don't have the knowledge, like what I'm saying. But let me just explain. As you know that the Mesh Rashi, okay, and the Simha Rashi, they have Rashi Drishti. Okay, and then you also have Simha Rashi having Rashi Drishti to Makar Rashi. Okay, Makar Rashi having a Rashi Drishti to Vrishab Rashi. So we all know that all the fixed signs actually are connected to the movable signs through Rashi Drishti. This Rashi Drishti is nothing but the teleportation or transportation of sounds. It's just like Simha Rashi, for example, is actually in Indian schools. Simha Rashi is nothing but connected to your stomach area or the solar plexus. Okay, now this Simha Rashi is actually connected to Mesha Rashi, which is your head. Okay, so that is why Sun is also one of the important planets when it comes to head. It becomes Aksharas and all that.
Yes.
And then slowly when it descends into the matter body, and when it comes down, it actually lodges itself. The soul actually lodges itself into the heart, but it is closely connected to the navel chakra, which is the Simha Rashi. Okay, and this Simha Rashi is also connected to the Makar Rashi, and that is why all those Makar Rashi people or Makar Lagna people need not lose hope that they are they are so far from the light and all that. They should not lose hope, because they are constantly being fed energy through this channel called as Leo and Leo and Taurus energy. Okay, so Taurus is where you have your face and all that, right? So your face and the beauty and all that. So that is feeding Makar Rashi, okay, through the sounds, and that's a teleportation, as well as Simha Rashi, which is the navel area or the solar plexus area. So what is happening is, people can actually visualize, for those of students who actually understand how a circuit diagram or Rashi Chakra is nothing but a circuit diagram. They understand that, they can easily understand that all the sounds are actually connected in this way through Rashi Drishti. That is why Rashi Drishti is more important than Graha Drishti. Because Graha Drishti, what is happening is, in Graha Drishti, planets have also their own karmas. Sometimes planets may withhold giving blessings because of retrogression, or sometimes because of interference and all that. But Rashi Drishti is something which can always activate. And how do you activate that? is through mantra or through constant, meditation and all that. So when you actually activate your, like saying Om from stomach, for example, what actually happens is when you are when you're saying Om from stomach, from this navel area, it goes and it connects to your Mesha Rashi as well as Makar Rashi. So your root chakra, your Sahasrara chakra, and your Manipur chakra, all these are actually connected because of that. So that is why it is emphasized that how you should pronounce these sounds. Okay. And the second point which I wanted to say was, it is not just Sanskrit, but also all the languages, whether it is German or whether it is English or whether it is Afrikaans or whether it is Australian English, or every language in this world, okay, that has come from Om only. I mean, that sound Amen or Om, whatever you call. Okay, it is not that these rules that I'm prescribing, they are not something which I am prescribing, it is there. And Sanskrit and Latin are sister languages, and they only got descended into all these other languages. Okay, there may be other sources, but the thing is, what I'm trying to say is, the source of all languages is one and the same, and that is why Katapayadi system, which I explained last time and this time also, it can be applied to English words and German words and all the other languages as well. All you have to do is, like say, you can just take say one English word. Let me take one English word. Let me take say cat, for example. I can simply say cat, okay, or dog. Okay, if I say cat, okay, the word cat, if you can see, K is coming into this first group. So it is the first letter, okay, and it is related to Aries. Okay, so that is why it is mentioned in Parashara Hora Shastra and in Jaimini Sutras that if you are having Karakamsha, that means where your Atma Karaka is sitting in your Navamsha Rashi, okay, either that or your Swamsha, which is your Navamsa Lagna. If it is there in Aries, you will have fear of cats. Or you will have some problem with the cat. And also it is said that Mars, the planet Mars, is related to these big cats, these leopards, cheetahs, and all these animals. And if you read the PPHs, Parashara, carefully, you will understand that all the Rashis have their own landscape and they have their own field of energy, and they're also related to certain animal symbology. Okay, so that is why when you are doing Nimitta or Prashna, or when you are understanding this science, you can clearly link, you can clearly understand how a cat is related to Aries. Okay, similarly, you can, similar, and one more important thing which I wanted to say was, even though Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha, and these sounds, these four sounds are related to the Agni Tattva and they are related to Mars, yet there is definitely a difference. Okay, so when you say Ka, Kha, the Ka is like the Dharma, actually. It is like your, the four, when you say four petals of your nakshatra, okay. So when you say, when you are actually linking it to your nakshatra, your birth star, or when you are linking it to the Lagna nakshatra or whatever, you have to understand that where your initial sound comes from. So for example, I was actually called Kanha when I was small. Okay, that was my original name, which was given to me by my grandmother. Okay, so my original name is Kanha, which is actually a pet name of Krishna. Okay, so that is why in childhood, I carried the vibration of Ka. Okay, I carried this vibration of Ka, and Ka is related to one is related to Aries. So that is why I was like this cat, and I used to, slowly steal some, some biscuits from my mom's cupboard and all that. Also, I used to steal certain, small, milk or butter or something, which Krishna used to do when he was small. Okay, and it is related to Aries. So I was a very fiery kind of a person when I was small. Okay, and incidentally, I have Jupiter and Ketu in my, Mesh Rashi. So that got accentuated when people called me Kanha or Kanaya or whatever. That part of me which is related to Aries Rashi, that got accentuated. So a simple exercise for the viewers is they can, just take their name, and then they write the name in Sanskrit, okay, as it is given here, and they can actually derive the number. And this number is related to one particular Rashi in your horoscope. Okay. So that will be the most important Rashi in your horoscope. More important than your moon sign, your Lagna, and your other, planet. If suppose there is no planet there, okay, then you have to look at Rashi Drishti. Say, for example, Partha, my name, Partha, okay. Pa is actually, if I can say here, it is related to the sound, 1, the numeral 1, okay. And if I go here, Tha is somewhere here, okay, it is here, 7, okay. As you can see, Pa is 1 and Tha is 7. So what I do 17, okay. When I divide 17 by 12, the remainder is 5, which is Simha Rashi, okay. That is where actually my Arudha Lagna sits.
Your Arudha Lagna?
Yes, because I am Dhanu Lagna. My Lagna Lord Jupiter is sitting in Mesh Rashi. Okay, and from obviously when you count 5 signs from Lagna to Mesh Rashi, so then the Arudha Lagna comes into Simha Rashi.
Wonderful.
Okay. When I say Partha or somebody calls me Partha, what they are doing is they are not invoking Aries in me. They are invoking the lion in me, which is Leo. And this is where my Arudha Lagna sits. Okay, so you have to be careful as to what people call you. So for example, if I take your name Bettina, if I take that, let me do this. Ba, is 3, okay, and then I write Ta, okay. Should I call you Bettina or Bettina? Bettina, okay. So I take 3, and you can also do this exercise for yourself. 3 and then 1. And then na is somewhere here, 0. So 3, 1, 0. So that is the digit that you are getting. Okay, that is the number you are getting. So when you divide 3, 1, 0 divided by 12, the remainder is 70. So obviously you can't, 12 2s are 24, 7 0. Okay, so you are getting 70, and then you divide again 70 divided by 12 again. Okay, so 12 5s are 60, right? So I am getting my maths. I am little weak in maths, but I am trying. So 12 5 is 60, and 70. You remove 60 from 70. What do you get?
10.
And what is 10? Makar Rashi. So I don't want to reveal your Lagna. You know that. yes, Bettina. So this is how it works, and that means your parents are highly spiritual and they are highly intelligent beings. So they have chosen your name correctly.
Wow.
So you are really lucky, because your Lagna and the Nama Akshara, which I have just derived, Bettina, is actually coming to Makar Rashi. Okay, and if you do reverse also, you can, now what we have done 3 1 0. So let us do 0 1 3. So when I divide 0 1 3 by 12, what I get, the remainder is 1. So Mesh Rashi is also important in your horoscope. So maybe motherland, your hometown is very close to you, because Mesh Rashi is your 4th house. So that is why also becomes very, very important for you. Okay. So when I do Partha, I just coming back to my name. So I have 1, okay, and then this Tha. I don't take Ra because Ra is actually joined with Tha, so I can't take Ra. Okay, so for those of you viewers, I am going little fast. I am sorry, but I will take another separate session with individual sounds. And today I am doing this brief session only. I'm just giving examples, couple of examples. The detailed session I will explain, maybe with more and more examples.
Wonderful.
Okay, so 1 and 7. Okay, so when I do this 17, if I say reverse it, just like I did for you, 71. If I divide by 12, what I'm getting, the remainder is 11. And 11 is sitting in Aquarius Rashi or Kumbha Rashi, okay, which is my 3rd house in my horoscope. I am Dhanu Lagna. What is 3rd house? 3rd house is writing, Guru Upadesha, communication, your hands and all that, right? And short travels. I have been always doing short travels all my life. I am a writer by profession. I am a trainer by profession, a writer by profession. So that is an important aspect. And that Rashi, incidentally, luckily in my horoscope, as per Ashtaka Varga, it has got some 34 or 35 points. So, so this is how actually, name works. Unfortunately, in India, and also I have seen in some other places in West, they use this, half-baked concept of Western numerology. What they do is they add a U or they add a O. Like for example, there was, somebody here, some Bollywood hero. He added one I and E in his name. Okay, and I don't want to take his name, but I'm just saying. So when you add I and E, it doesn't make sense. The reason being that I and E, or if you add even 100 E's, it doesn't make sense because it is basically your consciousness sound. It is the sun sound. Okay. So even if you add 100 E's, it is still zero, because as I told you that all the sun sounds are zero. So what is the point in adding another E in your sound? Okay. And even if I add another K, it doesn't matter. Like saying if there is somebody called Vivek, for example, there is a guy called Vivek, and I add another K at the end of his name. That is what, most of these stupid numerologists do. They add, keep adding these letters. What actually happens is you don't, add anything basically, because at the end of the day, you are still Vivek. Even if you say you call yourself Vivek, even then, the sound doesn't, matter. Sound doesn't change. So basically, when you are trying to change the sound, maybe instead of saying Vivek, he has to call himself Vivek or something. Then only the sound will change. By adding another extra U or O or K or whatever, it doesn't actually change the quality of his name. And this Vedic numerology is what, very few people like, it was taught in SJC by, Pandit Sanjay Rath, and it is there. As I said, it is already there in, Gemini Sutra as Katapayadi Varga. So it is not exactly his knowledge also. It is there in Gemini Sutras. Okay. And a lot of professors and teachers of astrology, they have already talked about it. Just that, nobody has actually explained it, that, it can be related to English sounds and how, you have to convert into numerals and connect it to your Rashi Chakra. So this is how actually I do Nimitta. This is how I do Prashna. And this is how, my methods are unique. They are not actually backed by any classical texts or something like that, because this is a knowledge which actually I got through revelation. Revelation, you understand, right? Like I do meditation and I, so 12, 13 years back, for example, I said in one of the internet forums that, Hora Chakra is related to the two nadis. It is related to your, the left brain and the right brain. And later I found out that it is true, because some serious guru and teacher, he actually said the same thing. But it was, but I did not know that, right? I have not read it in any book. I did not read in any classical text or anything, but he also corroborated that. So then I understood, okay, I'm in the right path. I understood then that, I'm not making a mistake, because this is a knowledge which probably I have got in some past life, which I'm revealing it. It's not something, it is kind of backed by classical only, but just that classical portion of the text which actually does all these derivations and integrations and condensation, that part of our text in BPHS and Gemini is missing. And that is why today's scholars, they are trying to, rearrange all the text and trying to, compile it again, trying to, come up with these formulas. Okay. And yes. And one more thing I wanted to say was why I said in the beginning of this session that, the sounds should not fall in the wrong hands, is because sounds, when they are combined in a particular form or in a particular way, they can be used as weapons. As weapons.
Okay, yes, sure.
Yes, as weapons. In fact, the Mahabharata war or all the wars, ancient wars, okay, whichever had happened, they had actually used mantra shakti or the power of sound or the power of Akshara to destroy each other. They never had to, create a physical nuclear bomb or a physical atomic bomb. What they did was they, just closed their eyes and they created, they vibrated, they just, spelled some words. Okay. That is why it's called spelling, as I said last time. So they created these spells, and these spells, they created this vibration and it hit the other, the target, whatever it was the target. Okay. And these things, this knowledge is now slowly coming back. And that is why, there are, products being launched like Google Glass or Microsoft HoloLens and all that, whatever is coming now, you can see that people are able to create holograms. Okay. So you can actually heal your hologram. So somebody who is interested in Reiki and pranic healing, what what they do generally is that they can actually send healing in the past, healing in the future. They can heal the present body, all using this power of sound. So what we can do is, you can simply visualize that person who's there somewhere in huge distance. You can visualize that person and you can heal using this vibration, that I let you be healed, so be it. I heal you and all that, and all in the present tense. So words actually, as it is said in Bible also, words or aksharas have the power to heal. If somebody says I love you or something, it actually has got power to heal. People may say, what is there in words? But as that guy, that famous singer, I forgot his name, Boyzone or somebody, I forgot. He says, words, what is there in words? If only words could heal, or if only words could, it can, if only I had words, you can actually feel that love. Okay. But actually, yes, words do have the power of love. And because of it is the words only which actually condense into matter and they become physical matter. So that is why many people, it is an advice to, especially to the young generation of people. You keep, suppose you keep thinking negative thoughts. You may think that, this, what is there? It's just a thought. But I will tell you what actually happens. This thought form, actually, it has got its own entity. It has got its own vibration. It's got its own shape. Okay. So suppose you keep thinking a lot of negative thoughts. What actually happens is these thought forms or entities, they actually coalesce together. Okay. They become a hologram. And once they become hologram, and when you connect it with your heart space or with your solar plexus space, okay, and say, I will kill you or something like that. No. So as I said, ka is related to this mar sound, kal, kill. That is why kill, Krishna, clean, Kali are all one and the same. They are all related to this ka sound, which is the mar sound, which is the Agni sound. So when you say, keep saying kill, 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 what will actually happen is you will definitely get killed. The other person will also get affected. So that is why you have to be careful all the time. You have to monitor your thoughts, what thoughts you are creating. So if the new age philosophers and people make fun of new age philosophers that saying that, what nonsense, how can thought create reality? Yes, thought alone doesn't create reality. That is true. But at the same time, we don't just create thoughts, right? We also have emotions. So once you start adding emotions, okay, which is the ya group, ya, ra, la, va, sha, sa, sa, and all these consonant sounds. When you start adding those energies into it, what actually happens is, yes, you can actually inflict pain on somebody. You can do that. But the thing is, because of sacred geometry and because of all these temples and churches all around the world, what has actually happened is these energies are not getting, they are not getting, manifested that easily. I can say that way. So for now, for today, I don't want to give away too much only in one thing. We can do more sessions on this. So this is how it is. And if you have any questions, you can ask me.
Yes. And of course, for our viewers, goes the same. If you have any question, leave your comments below. And Partha is going through the comments on the videos, and so will I. So if you have any questions, please put them there and we can answer them next time.
Sure.
Really nice. So we'll keep it at this for today.
Yes.
And we'll continue next time. I believe we have some more Prashna Nimita.
Yes, definitely. We can do that. Yeah.
For you.
Yes.
Okay then. Thank you so much for this lecture. It was wonderful. And we look forward to seeing you real soon.
Sure.
Thank you all for joining us.